It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line. Set!
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp. Stafford to his number 1 guy, Kupp, for a Los Angeles first. The Rams had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Throwing is Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
To Tyler Higbee.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they got to find a way to get it back together.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And I believe that that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
On 4th down, Stafford. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick six to take the lead.
Partner, you have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
13. Rams, nothing.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports.
Rams nothing.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Stafford now to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
Jefferson really grew into the deep threat LA needed as it ramped up its passing attack, averaging a cool 16 yards per catch. One of the best marks in the league and helping the Rams earn a ring. Back at it again, 2022, picking up a...
On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, there's a reason they call him a ball-hawking safety. It looked like he read that, Charles, and he wasn't stopping there. After he got it, he took it all the way to the house to widen their lead.
And what's interesting to me, Brandon, is that our spotter, Bruce Murray, right before that snap, pointed to his number on my play sheet. Got to see him a little bit as a ball hawk and a return man that time, didn't we? That's just the type of play they expect from him, and he delivers in a big way. Nice call, Bruce.
At their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Henry running right. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the 50, Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, he completes it to Henry. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And some room to work. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And Lambo will put this one through, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back to their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Complete. Jefferson the target. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
At the 38-yard line.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Open man, Higbee, the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Now it's Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Throwing again at Stafford. He dumps it off for Henry. Touchdown, Rams! Derrick Henry, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
A gain of 12. First down, Atlanta.
Looking to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Let's go now.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Third down, here's Patterson. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback. Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Got it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Some good coverage there defensively, as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll run it again with Henry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford escaping the pressure right. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37. That one goes for 24 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Stafford.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. Touchdown, LA! Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown score or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
On 2nd down, around with Patterson.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. to throw. Got his man. It's London. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 18. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Patterson running between the tackles. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Patterson going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Algier, and that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And now here in this situation, a field goal would still have them only up by 1 score, so I would think about going for it. Even if you don't get in, you put your defense in a really nice spot, making the offense go the long way to try and score.
Here we go, set.
Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Preston Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Falcons 27, Rams 17. Younghoe Koo to kick
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Stafford now to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And the Falcons are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Ready?
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And caught by London. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
2nd and 1. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Hey, you don't have to tuck your head in and take a look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Drake London, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are on their way to a 2-0 start. Koo now for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Falcons 34, Rams 17.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 41. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Patterson again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to have the Rams 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
And the Rams 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Atlanta, there was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory.
Thank you.